Hey, welcome to an episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Henry's joining us for another back-to-back episode.
Right on.
And today we're drinking a beer that, if I recall correctly, you said is your favorite or one of your favorite styles?
Yeah. ESBs are among my favorite sessionable drinking beers. ESB stands for Extra Special Bitters, which is a version of English bitters, which tend to be, they're basically a pale ale, but less hop-centric than American pales and more malt-focused.
Right.
And this from Redhook is liquid goodness since 1982.
5.8% ABV. There's no description on the bottle. I did review this beer about a year and a half ago, and I didn't really... I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. So it's one of the reasons that Alex just gave me this and a few other beers. He wants me to have a fresh bottle. And if this bottling date is correct, it looks like it says May 4th, which was only a month ago.
So this is very fresh.
Brand spanking new.
I'm very excited about this.
Alright, so you want to crack into these?
Let's do it.
Maize? Golden?
Golden, I would say it's actually kind of amber.
Right,
dark
yeah,
amber.
amber. Got a nice
Effervescent.
two-finger head.
You always get the better head, Chad.
But I pour it a little more aggressively.
Yeah, well, you also got the glass. Pour this one aggressively. Oh, take a whiff.
It's got some fruity notes to it. Maybe...
Darker.
Yeah, it's not...
Almost skunky, but not really.
Mine's not skunky. It's just very, very mild in the nose. It's not very aromatic. Kind of a fruitiness there, kind of like a peach, cherry, plum, something like that. A little hoppy.
Malty. Very malty.
This one I just said hoppy, you said malty.
Yeah, I don't really. Here, can I take a whiff of that one?
Sure.
Because you got a huge head. Yeah, that's a little hoppier in the aroma than mine with no head. See, I've been waiting for you to make a "that's what she said" joke. All the discussion about head lately, you know. So let's try this.
Let's see how ESB stacks up. This is we just reviewed the 𝗕𝓗𝓮𝓻𝓲𝓷 Expedition, which was all dark fruit, and this is more of a lighter fruit. Apricot, peach, nectarine kind of thing.
It has a wet flavor to it. I get the fruit. It's a mild fruit.
Right.
Very, very mild.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's got a wet flavor, which is very, very refreshing. This beer can quench your thirst.
Yeah. The bitterness is in the back end. It's a little dry, but it doesn't linger for very long.
Yeah, standard ESB.
Yeah.
Highly sessionable.
Yeah.
I could tell that I could just drink this. A lot of it. I won't, you know, for health and safety, etc., etc., but...
The bitterness on the back end, it's like, I don't want to say sour, but it's like a little tiny bit peppery, little...
Definitely peppery, Chad.
Like this kind of pepper.
Right.
You know, not...
It's peppery, and the back end of the aroma coming up the back of the nasal cavity there reminds me of a greenhouse. You know, when you walk into a greenhouse and it smells like there are plants growing, plus the moist soil, the sort of wet aroma that you get inside a greenhouse where stuff is growing, I've got that. Not particularly chlorophyll-y or plant-like, but just that sort of background aroma. It's not bad, and it's not super amazing.
Yeah, it's not like a soil.
It is.
Like that. Yeah. Like even if you go to the Walmart garden department,
potting
soil. Yeah.
So this beer,
it does not taste like dirt.
Like potting soil. And it's not dirty. It doesn't taste like dirt, but it has an aroma from the back of the throat.
Let's just say earthy.
It's earthy. Yeah. I suppose we should say earthy because it's more appealing than saying this tastes like soil.
It's not bad at all.
This is good. This is just so drinkable.
Yeah.
And I've got to give it, I talk about sessionability. This beer is really doing it. I mean, this is, in terms of finding a session beer, which sometimes is harder than it seems, this is pretty much what I look for. I mean, I'd like it a little bit more what I call Cheerio malt. You know, some beers have a malty quality that makes them more like cereal.
Yeah.
And I do prefer that to this. But this is just remarkably drinkable.
Yeah. And it's not, like, it's bitter enough to satisfy the beer drinker like us, but not to the IPA kind of bitterness that's going to turn off your more casual Joe and Jane six-pack type. I'm going to go 7 on this one. It's really not, you know, amazing me, but it's not letting me down or anything.
Yeah, I'm going to
It's tasty and drinkable.
Yeah, definitely a 7, Chad. The sort of soil earthiness here could be described as an off flavor. Depending on who you are and how you're reviewing, it might not be good to everyone. The smoothness and drinkability is why I like this. Calling it an ESB might be a stretch, depending. It's definitely a bitter. It's got a malty cereal quality, not as cereal-y as I like, but it's good. It's a 7, and this is the kind of beer that I would love to get a 6-pack of and just sit back and enjoy with a friend or two.
Alright, well I guess that about does it for this episode. Thanks again to Alex over at Redhook for the beer. Redhook ESB, that is a 7 from both of us. We think it's a good beer. Yeah. Not quite mind-blowing, but really nothing particularly wrong with it.
So smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth. Drinkable.
Yeah. Thanks to Henry for coming out. And I guess we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Glad to be here. And folks, don't forget to have